Hey guys, tonight's movie review is for When the Game Stands Tall, starring Jim Caviezel, Laura Dern, Michael Chiklis, and Alexander Ludwig. A little bit about this movie. It is based on a true story. It follows the football team at LaSalle High School in California, and they have the longest winning streak of any team of any sport of all time. They hold the record of 151 games won in a row, which is over 12 years. And this movie follows this team and its coach, Bob Latiker. And at the beginning of the movie, it actually takes place when they're getting ready to win their 151st game straight, and of course they do win. You've got all of this just excitement and happiness. There are some of the players on the team that are getting scholarships and drafted for the next year. You've got all this good stuff happening at the beginning. Just a lot of joy. You're finding out about the team and how they've gotten to all these wins. And then near the beginning, things start to take kind of a darker turn. The coach, he has major medical issues and has to have stents in his heart. There's a possibility he won't be able to coach anymore. And then one of the senior players, the night before he's supposed to go to college, TK Kelly, he got gunned down in a tragic incident. So really where the meat of this movie is starting after those things happen and having to deal with the fallout of these tragic events. And then the next season, their first game, they lose. They lose this 12-year winning streak. And the rest of the movie is about the rest of the season. And it's not only about football, are they going to start winning? Are they going to go back to the team that they once were? But also all of the emotions that deal with everything that has happened to the kids on this team, and how they're going to be able to grow from that. A little bit about the actors in this movie, the acting. Jim Caviezel, I thought he did a good job as Coach Latiker. I think he can be a little over the top and stuff sometimes, but in this I thought he did a pretty good job at holding some restraint and really getting into the character. Another person I thought did a really good job was Michael Chiklis. He played the assistant coach, and I remember seeing his name at the beginning of the credits. I remember seeing it at the end of the credits, and I was like, I have no idea who he played, because he was so into the character. I figured he had to be the assistant coach because looks-wise, he's the only role that he would have really fit. But I just thought it was amazing. He really got into that role. He wasn't recognizable. He was that character. Sorry about that. And also Alexander Ludwig, he played one of the players on the team. You might not recognize the name. The only other film that I've seen him in is The Hunger Games, part 1. He played Cato in that. And I thought he did a good job in that. But Cato's character is a little one-dimensional. In this movie, I think he really did a great job of fleshing out his character. He made me really excited to see him in other things. I'm really excited about his future. I think he's going to be somebody to watch. And he did really well in this film. The storyline itself, it is kind of a typical sports movie, and it's got its cheesy moments, but I really enjoyed the storyline. You feel for the team, you feel for the characters, you really get into the journey of this year after, a high and then these terrible tragedies, and you really get into the ride. You get into the football scenes. As it gets farther into the film, you almost feel like you're in the stands at a live game. It just, the film builds this energy and really sucks you in. Now, things that I maybe didn't like so much about this movie, it did have some pretty corny dialogue at certain parts, although I don't think that's uncommon of sports films. And then the music, like the sports, oh my gosh, this is a huge moment music. It got to be a little much near the end. I don't think that they needed that much music. I think the action kind of played for itself and they could have reined that in a little bit. Um, but overall, I really don't have many complaints about this. The acting was good. The storyline was really enjoyable. The characters themselves, you really do uh, get a connection to them. And I think a lot of that is because the writing, as far as the boys and how they interact with each other, is really good. And you see these characters, you see these high school football players, and normally, in movies, they're like, oh, meatheads. But in this, it was really refreshing to see that, they had emotions, they had fears, they had joy, they had they were human beings and they weren't afraid to express those emotions. And I thought that was really awesome to see in teenage boys, and a really good example, and something that you would definitely want young boys and teenage boys to see. I would give this film a B. I think that it is pretty well done for a sports movie. I wasn't expecting a whole lot, and I was pleasantly surprised. So that's all I've got for tonight. It's a B. Thanks so much for watching.